Welcome back to the Desmond Works channel, and following on from the 848 bottom end real-time strip down that I did in the last video, I've got a new one for you. This is one of my newer projects that's come in. So this is a 748 that's going to be getting converted to an 853 using an EVR conversion kit. We'll go through all those parts when we start doing the rebuild that the customer supplied. So today I need to get this stripped down just to have a look at the condition and get the crank out so that I can get that balanced with the new pistons and everything. So I've got the 848 and this 748/853 conversion cranks to get away to be balanced. So today's video is going to be stripping this down in real time, warts and all, as we did with the last video. It's -6 today. I've got the heating on in the garage, but it's not particularly warm, so I'm going to press on as far as I can get today, but I might stop. Now, if you remember from the problems I had in the last video that I did with the 848, I will be having to stop every now and then because there's only a 20-minute record session on my camera, so I just have to stop it and restart it each time. So there might be some minor continuity breaks, but I am filming it as I go. And with this cold weather and looking at the battery charge, don't know how long the batteries will last, but got the spare sets on charge as well, so there might be some minor breaks just to change batteries and bits and pieces. I'm going to try and keep the camera in the same position, and much as I did with the 848, I'll talk through it as I go. Hope you like these different approaches to the videos. And before we get into this, look, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and notification bell for more content like this that's coming soon. Let me reposition the camera slightly and we'll get into this. Okay, so I'll take you through the tools that I use at the end of the session when we're done. First off, I just need to get the spark plugs out so I can easily turn the engine over. So take the vertical out first, and then horizontal. I'm going to have to be careful today that I don't trip up over my heater cable that's just behind you, trying to get some warmth into this garage. I think this might have to be a project this year to insulate the garage so I can work over winter. Okay, we're done there. Let's get this little cover off so that we can turn the engine into the horizontal top dead center position. Oh, that one was loose. Now on this one, the clutch rod is oh, it's got a half rod in it. Or is that a snapped rod? That's interesting. I have to tell the owner there that he looks to have a snapped clutch rod. I've never seen that before. Let's get the turning tool locked in. I was just going to say that the clutch rod is stuck in there, but looks to have, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if I can get this to focus. That's not that. I don't know if somebody's cut that, or but it's been ground down neatly, so somebody's meant to do it that way. But as you can see, it's broken where the second seal has been. Might be worth him getting a new push rod. Right, let's find where we are. Top dead center. Just get this roughly. There we go. I only need it roughly. It's just so everything's in the right place for when I pop the belts off. So if we spin that back round again, let's get the belt covers off. It should be a relatively straightforward job. Let's get these turned off loose. Three bolts on each cover. Get the Ooga Dooga gun. Now, interestingly, you're supposed to Loctite them, and somebody's copper greased them. Okay, 12mm. Loosen the belts off. We go with the horizontal first. There we go. It's horizontal off. Vertical next. There we go. Nicely shaped. Might have been on there a while. Okay, I'm just gonna, as we're completely stripping the engine, I'm gonna get all the tiny gear bits and pieces off. So we need to get these covers off now. That's a 10mm if I remember right, yeah. That's good. There's that washer behind there as well. One there. That one comes straight off, nice. I don't think I've got the right size key for that, have I? Oh, yes I have. So get the fixed wheels off. Alright, so just get a breaker bar on that would be better. Rather than breaking my ratchet. I'll give you a view at the end of this as to how long this takes, this job. Okay, I think it's a 19 for that. Remember rightly? Yeah. And this will get us our timing belt back covers off. There we go, it's one. And it also gives us access to the head nuts that sit at the back there as well, when we need to pop them off. So that's that off. That's that off. Just going to take this off because there's always a risk that you could catch it with something and break it off. Not on tight. It's the standoff piece for the battery holder, and it sits in one of the water covers, but it's just worth to have that off so it doesn't get caught. Okay, let's come around the other side, just get some odds and sods off this side. So I'm going to take off this water pipe. I did have a screwdriver. And then I'm going to take off the oil feed pipe that goes between the block and the heads. I think that's a 13. No, it's a 12, correction. just going to leave these in there. So that one off as well. Obviously when we refit that we'll need new copper washers in that. This is the non-cooler based engine, so you can see that we've got the oil feed going to the heads there. Let me just get a spanner for that. I think that's a 13, or is it? No, it's a 14 or 15. Yeah, 14. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Just loosen the block, which is 15 to hold it there, so we just split the odds. There we go. I'll have to get a new washer in for there. I think the customer's got a conversion kit he's given me to do that. Right, now just got a P-clip to undo. Back here. And then that oil line's out of the way. There we go. Now I'm not doing this in any particular manual type order, just doing it the way I know from experience. So those of you that are avid Ducati manual followers who bemoaning I've done it in a slightly different order, it's just the way I do it from experience. Right, I need to get the coolant manifold off the side of the horizontal head, because that just restricts access a little bit into the head bolt there. So I should be able to just take this bolt off and be able to pull this out. Just get a mallet, just tap that slightly. Got to be careful with this because it's only made of aluminium, so don't welly it really hard. But it's been sat in there for a while. Trying to work it so you get a gap. I might be able to get a bit of WD-40 in there now. Do you know what? I actually think the mount on the back is actually loose as well. Oh, it's starting to move. He says. Little gentle taps, and there we go. So it's just a smooth aluminium union that goes in against here, and there's an O-seal in there. But that gives me access to that head nut there. just going to put a bit of WD-40 on those head nuts, as everything seems to be so tight on here. Right, we'll take the vertical head off first. Get around the right way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Do a crack first. There we go. I'll go diagonally opposite. Ooh. Knock my containers, do the other one, then come back across the other side. Oh, there we go. Alright, we'll take this one a little bit looser and then go back opposite again. How are we doing for time? 5 minutes before I need to just do a quick clip reset. And then this one. The problem with it being so cold out here is all my tools are absolutely freezing to touch. I really need to go and live somewhere warm, build Ducati engines. Right, these should all be loose now. Yeah, okay. Let's get these turned off, let's get a little tub for them. I'm starting to lose the feeling in the end of my fingers where it's so cold. Might have to do a bit of a hand warm up in a second. Downside to taking work on early in the year when my heater's not working properly. Right, that's those 4 off. Let's just give the head a quick tap. Sounds like it's moving. No, it's not. Oh, I think we're gonna experience the yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to take this right off with cylinder as well. Head is stuck to its cylinder, so we'll strip that down later. Let's just put that on the floor for now. Yuck. Lots of horrible rust around the bolts. So we'll have to I think there's just corrosion, nothing serious. Right, let's do the horizontal. Let me just position this again so I can get into it. Okay, so let me do a stop and restart here. Okay, back going again. Right, let's crack. First crack on that one. Again, go diagonally opposite. Ooh. Ahow! That's not very nice. Just whacked my hand off of the suspension vise. Go down underneath that one now. And then last one on this side. Oh, sorry, that's the one I've already done. It's this one up here. There we go. Right, and as I'm here, I'll loosen this one off further. There we go. Then come back across here. That one's loose now. Come back up to the top. There we go. And back down to the bottom. Okay, they're all loose. Check. Yeah. 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 Okay. So, let's get these head nuts off. That one's oh no, it's just about made it off. It was, the stud was a little bit higher. Just can't get the washer off. There's a lot of corrosion on that one. And get the washer out. Back to doing 4-valve engines, which is my primary love, because that's what I used to race and build myself back in my early days. There we go. Right, let's tap this one. Okay, I don't think, yeah, okay, that's going cylinder as well, so pop that off. Again, we'll have to sort that out later. There we go. Whew, cold hands. Ah. Right, let me take a couple of minutes just to warm my hands up. Right, hands warm, fresh gloves. Let's pop the pistons off. What I've noticed is that it's got red sealant, so I think this has been apart before. Where are we? There we go. Grab that. Oh. Right, pick that up later. Don't need that at the moment. Just give that a light tap. He says a light tap. Cool. That's stiff. There we go. Start moving. Eventually. Bad tool practices, I know. Very stiff. Slight signs of oil burn on the bottom of the piston, but a little bit of scoring on the front face, but it's irrelevant because we've got new pistons and cylinders to go on, but always just worth having a look. So you might want to sell these to somebody. I'll find the circlip in a little bit. So that's horizontal. Okay. I just need to reposition the vertical piston so that I can get to it. Just hold it so it doesn't catch on anything. There we go. Interestingly, the studs are covered in dust from rust and look quite bad at the base, but right, we just had the battery die on that last clip. So I had literally just taken off the horizontal piston, and the only reason I'm saying this is because sometimes the clip corrupts when the battery dies. So after coming back, having warmed my hands up, I've taken off the horizontal cylinder piston, moved the vertical one up into its top dead center position so I can access the circlip. Now I'm just going to take out the gudgeon pulling clip and get that piston off there as well. Is that one? Now I think what will also be missing from the clip is I did find a bit of non-Ducati standard liquid gasket. So I think this engine might have been apart before for some reason, but I don't know why as yet. There we go. Again, this piston's a little bit light scoring, a little bit of oil burn on the base of the piston, but nothing massively excessive. So yeah, probably still usable for somebody. That's the vertical. Let's get the base gasket off. What I was saying is there's a little bit of corrosion around the interface between the studs and the block, but actually whilst there's a lot of rust dust on the studs, they don't look too bad there. Vertical, similar as well, so light dusting of rust and probably corrosion at the interface. Right, so we're on to the bottom end already. I'm going to do the clutch side first. So first thing I need to do is get this clutch out. It's been supplied with the clutch still in, so we'll just loosen off this cover. That was loose, that one's not, that's not, that one's not. Buzz those off. Right. I need to just pull it at the same time. That was a bit awkward. That one's come out okay, as has that one. Okay, I need to get the pressure plate off so I can hold the clutch in place to loosen it all. So I'm just going opposites. Let's got those started. I'm going to buzz them out slightly. Right, just doesn't mean any one is holding loads of pressure on it. If you do buzz them all the way out and then just leave one tight, I have seen the posts snap as a result of that. Right, let's just that. Pressure plate off. You can see the rod. Yeah, interesting. So it's been snapped at some point and made good. Each to their own. I would have bought a new one myself. So again, all the friction and pressure plate, clutch plates out. Good old slipper clutch. Relatively recent frictions by the look of it. Don't look too bad at all. Although the steels look pretty well used, it'd be interesting to measure the pack. Yeah, that's interesting. Somebody sanded them down. Bizarre. I don't know if they had a clutch problem and it overheated or something. Oh, that's being awkward, that one. Every time I think I've got it out, there we go, springs back in. Okay. Now, interesting basket in the centre. Doesn't have teeth all the way around, it's got gaps. But what I need to do, it's got a little tool that will just allow me to hold this all in place. So as well as having the conventional clutch holding tool, I've got this little plastic one which I usually take with me to track days because it's kind of handy if you need to quickly strip your clutch pack down. Just buzz them in. Oh, let's have the right size key on there. Okay, let's get the clutch sized. There we go, 32mm on this one. It's a yo-yo dyne slipper clutch. Off, let's go. Gosh, somebody had a lot of thread lock on there. Ooh, smells. Yowza, that's got warm coming off. The spring's quite warm. Let's take the clutch holding tool off now. There we go. That's off. Put that away because I don't need it. Take the basket off. There's a there we go. Oh, it's a ramp style one rather than a ramp and ball bearing. So it's a free ramp clutch, similar to the think the standard 748R clutch that Ducati made was a free ramp one as well. And there's the base. That's, I mean, it's had quite a hard life, that has. Yeah, been apart many a time by the look of that one. Let's put everything. Actually, Adam. Put that in there. Yeah, and you can see the spring seats are quite worn as well. And the nut. That gets us through to our clutch basket. Won't need that yet again for a little while till we're inside. Right, so we've got 13mm on these. Just double check. Yeah, that's 12 and it doesn't fit. Right. Okay. Right, clutch spacer. There we go. Just need to get that off of the lip on the primary gear, but we're out. Okay, so clutch is now removed. What I'm going to do, pop this cover off. So we are back to the Allen key again. So we'll loosen everything off and then finish it off with a gum. I had one that I took off earlier because it had a bracket on it and I didn't want to damage the bracket when I put it into the engine box. So that's already off for the eagle-eyed among you. Oh, come on. Okay. And this has been off before and has got a different type of sealant on it. There we go. Yeah. Somebody's used like a silicone sealant. I don't know if you can see that on my hands. So yeah. So somebody's definitely had this engine apart before. Be interesting to understand why. See if the engine gives us up any clues as we get further in as to why it's been apart. It's still a standard one. Wait a second. Right, there is a seal there, it's on the casing so it's not missing. There we go, little spacer in behind the primary gear, if I can get that out. He says, come on. It's only oil sticks and holding that on. Doesn't want to play. That will go flying out sometime. There we go. So that's our primary gear spacer. Take the oil pump off. Knocked some of my tools down as I've been going. I'm missing one of them. Go. Take 6mm. Ah no, I didn't bring it out the other one, I don't think. Right, not. Okay. Let's get the next size up for that. That's the one I want for that one, yeah. That's that. Oil pumps off. Standard one. No lightening on the wheel at all. Yeah. Did leave it to drain for quite a while, but oil does tend to sit in the engine quite easily. Okay, let's get a punch so I can just knock that lock washer back. We can then buzz that off. Nice to see that one's been bent over properly. We'll be putting a new one on. Okay. Don't want to buzz that off while I'm just here. Yeah, we'll do that quickly. Go. Gotta love your big DeWalt impact wrench. Is that loose or is I gonna? Oh. Sometimes you get lucky with these. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the proper removal tool, which I bloody hate. Right. Let me heat this up, make it easier to come off. Those of you who know the channel know I hate this tool with a passion. I swear it's here just to kill you. So we're just going to remove the primary gear. Oh, this one's easy. Ooh. Woo! And it's just because it's got a chamfered face on the gear wheel and the crank that you just got to break that stiction. Put that nut down there. So we're done on this side. I do need to take this wheel off, but I've got to lock the other side when I take it off, so you'll see what I mean in a second when we get the other cover off. Let me just stop the camera quickly, clean the tools up just so I've got a bit lying around at the moment. And we're back. I just squared away some tools and put a couple away that I didn't need anymore. Right, onto this side of the engine. So, get the correct one. Let's crack the generator cover. Oh, okay. Yeah, this has definitely been apart because there's a non-standard bolt in there, which I think looks like an 8mm. I'm just going to have to go and get an 8mm. Socket in a second. Can't get to that one. I'm gonna have to go get an Allen key in a second. It's odd. Normally I can get to it. Let's get a longer one. There we go. Okay, let's buzz these off. And then I'll do that 8mm last. Might go in. Yeah, just about get that. Let's grab an 8mm socket just to get that last one off. I mean, I'm assuming that's what that is. Oh, that's a really tight fit as well. I'm just going to have to be a bit careful here. Can't get fully on the bolt. I wonder if using a little 1/4 inch drive might be better. Yes, I can get that in there. Right, okay. That is not a standard bolt. Just put those 8mm bits away. Okay, so whoop, move the tool too quickly. So we've got our generator cover removal tool. Lost one of these. I've done a couple of projects where I've stripped engines for people so they could take them away to do stuff. I got a feeling I left this on one of the covers. This is a new one. I've got the right size there. There we go. Right, just before we come out, just check all the bolts are out. Yeah, right, let's try and break this magnetic lock as well as the case sealing. Now it snags, as I think I've said before, on the gear lever as you're coming off. Sometimes you just got to make sure it's coming off square. Sometimes you have to loosen it again. This one looks to be coming off kind of nice actually. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's just take the tool off while I remember this time. Sticky. No major issues inside there. There we go. We are into the centre here. What I need to do, while I think about it, is I need to get the oil filter off, which is under there. So I'll just position a case in a way I can do that. Yeah. And as it leaks out everywhere already, there's still oil in the circuit as a result. Let's buzz that off. That's rather full. Where's my oil container gone? Which seals come off. Just clean out the little bit of oil that's spilt in there. On the casing. Okay. Right. We need to loosen everything off. On this side. Okay. So, first job. Now, if you wanted to do this properly, you've got a locking tool, which, as I showed on the 848, is sometimes you can find it's the wrong size, because if you've got a light and flywheel, it will be smaller. This looks to be standard, by the way, so that's normal size there. What you would do, come in, put that on, There's some locking holes on the perimeter of the external face of the flywheel. Get it in far enough so that that's in place, and I've just got to line up the holes so I can lock this in situ. So there we go. Now so that's the proper manual way of securing that down. So let me just flip it up because I've got to take the timing bit off, but you can see how that locks that. Also show it like that. You can see how that locks that. God almighty, forgetting the name of the word. Rotating part of the assembly of the generator. That was a bit of a mind loss then. So on the flywheel you've got two locking holes that these bolts go into, and then you just secure to the side stand location with bolts. The reason I wanted just to get this up, whilst that's just locked off, I'm going to buzz off this timing gear nut which is there. Stick that in and buzz out, and that's a good one. We're off to the races. Just pull that apart nice and easily. Get these keys out before they jump away somewhere. There we go. There's a little circlip there as well, which is an absolute pain to get off. Oh, I had it there. There we go. It's just a case of getting it started. Ah, it's popped in again. Let's get a set of circlip pliers. I think the problem is that it's not actually a circlip, and my circlip pliers, the jaws are just too big to be useful. Let's get the correct action. So all I need to do is get it out the channel slightly, and then it's should be good to go. Oh. This is probably the worst bit about doing these engine builds, is getting this thing off. Ah, it's popped in again. Those of you that know will know. Of course, because it's so bloody cold, my fingers are playing mischief and I can't feel it properly. There we go. It's predominantly out now. Push that last bit out. Push this last bit out here. Need a screwdriver, put them away. Just because that can give me a better Oh, it's testing me, guys, it's testing me. There we go. There you go, that little, I don't know if you can, that little ring. The problem is it's not a proper circlip ring, which makes it really awkward to get off. But you need that off to be able to pull the intermediate timing gear through. Let's put that with those wheels. There we go. Right. Stick this back round, pop it over. Let's take this gear side apart. Okay. Need the, what size is that, just for those of you that are following along? It's a 30mm. Let's take this off. That's been locked on properly, well and truly. So we're off on that one. So I'm loosen this tool now. What are we doing for time? 4 minutes. So I'm hoping that you find this of value, just doing the work and talking along what I'm doing. As I said, not doing it perfectly to the manual process. Lift that out. Let me just take out the needle bearing that sits against the crank, spacer, like so, then the drive gear. The key should be okay. Let's put that in there. Right. Master here. Get the starter gear off. There we go, that's nice enough. It's a circlip and then just pull it off. There's a spacer behind and a spacer in front, so don't forget that. Now we can take the starter motor off, and again I've just noticed that's got a wrong bolt on it. It's got an 8mm on it again as well. Pop that out. There we go. And then we got the correct 6mm keys internally, bolts internally, sorry. That's those. Buzz them out. Hold on to the start motor. They're away. One of the bolts has dropped inside. Next we'll take off the gear selector fork. There we go. It's a 1/8mm bolt, and that's not going to buzz. Let's go with that one. 1/6mm. Just while the engine's coming apart, I'll just drop that in there. There's our fork. Just get it out. Little holes in the casing. Get that out. Would have been fun if you were putting your engine back together and it'd fill in further. So I think we're getting close to an hour and 20 minutes on this so far. Okay, next we need to do the timing gear. So I just need to bend down the locking washer again. Right, I need 22mm socket to take that off. And there's a hole in the wheel. In fact, on this one you can actually use the key. Not that one. Not that one, there it is. Stick the key in there against the bolt. And then just buzz this off. While we're at it, we'll take off the indent spring for the drum. That's also 22mm. Two birds for the price of one. There we go. Nut bolt. Just tap the timing gear. And then if you push it back up, well, usually it's near the case, and you just rest it. Should hopefully give you enough of a start to pull that gear off, which is tight. It wants to come. So just pop that off. Should be loose now. Still a bit sticky, but we're out. Keys there. Nice. Set of pliers. Grab the key. There we go. We're out with those two. Just put those away. Okay, ready to pop the covers apart. So let's grab the 6mm. I just had the extension bit because I just used it, didn't I? There it is. A little bit of a mess here. do these 6mm in here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 up here, 7. Let's buzz those out. Oop. That's all the external case bolts. And we'll take out 2 long 6mm. Drop that, get that in a second. Butterfingers. So we've got those 2 long ones out. Okay, need to crack these bigger ones now, which is that one I think, yeah. Okay, let's get the extension piece. So they're around the perimeter. So we've got, oh, I didn't want it to spring. 1, 2. Actually, I'm going to have to get my proper key because that's too close to the case. Too close to the case to use my new sockets. Oh, stiff. There's that one. That one. And that one. And then one up the top here. There we go. Buzz them out. Got the 2 external dirty ones. And the internals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've been covered in some sort of grease. Not seen that before. Covered in some sort of grease. Yeah, it's definitely been apart. Ooh. Oh, it's cold, gents, it's cold. Oh, sorry, ladies and gents. I'm assuming there might be ladies watching. I don't think this is a later case with anything on this side. Nope. Good. So, put that on there. We're ready to pop the case. So I'm just going to stop filming, clean everything away so I've got places to put the cases down without tools being in the way. Be back in a sec. I'm back. So, just wanted to clean up before we pop the cases apart. So, everything's all undone. Just had a double quick check. All we need to do now, tap off. Oh, key. Let's just come off the crank. Okay. Loose, yeah, we're almost there. back side. There we go. I think the gears are getting stuck. Yeah, right, the gears set's coming off with one side. That's messy. Gears got jammed on one side. Normally that doesn't happen. That's a first. Just make sure everything's put back in correctly. I think it's jammed in the make sure the washers are with everything. Oh, that's really... yeah, it was stuck in there. Which meant I couldn't do my rotating look. But other than the typical sort of detritus you get on the outside, it was a little bit sticky on this part. So that's out. Gear sets look good. I'll just wrap them up in this cloth we've been using and put them down. Shift drum looks okay. No major problems on there. Shift forks got a little bit of wear. Yeah, on the, don't know if you'll be able to make this out. Some wear just on the tips and the bases. So I have to measure them carefully. Yeah, that one's got some quite bad wear marks there. Usually don't get as much wear as that, so I'll just have to carefully check them. Have another rag. The main prize we were after is our crank. Doesn't feel too bad. It's a very pungent smell from the oil in the cases. I've been having a bit of blow by. Really really does smell of fuel. Just take off the crank shims. So I'm not really sure. I think most of the debris that I'm seeing is what's come off from the heads being taken off. Oh, I've got the output shaft, the gearbox. Just make sure I've got all of the spaces out I have. I mean, it really stinks of petrol. Really does. I need the timing spindle out. Okay, 748 to 853 conversion is underway. First piece of work, stripping the cases down. I've got a load of spilt oil still inside these cases I need to take out. Crank needs to go away and get balanced with the rotating assembly. I'll give that a good clean over and check over before that goes away. So I think I'm going to give it a wrap there. Let me just switch off and reposition the camera slightly. Okay, so there we have it. 748 engine stripped down so I could get to the crank. I will take the con rods off separately just to have a look at the big end bearings, and now that I've been able to get in, I can crank size and con rod size the correct bearings as replacements. I need to do the same with the 848, and then the plan is that I will get those away to be balanced as rotating assembly. So I'll attach some of the other bits and pieces to the crank to take along with me so that the whole assembly gets balanced. That will be pistons, rods, crank, flywheel and the rotor all going as one piece to be balanced so that it can optimize itself for both of those rebuilds. So hope you enjoyed this style of video. If you did, chuck us a like. Any questions or comments, stick them down below. Those of you that are aficionados of the manual, I apologise if I've done it in a slightly different order, but that's just the way I take the engines apart. I've done them enough to be comfortable in doing it without referring back to the manual. But if you've got any particular questions about any of the procedures, feel free to ask and I will answer away as I can. And I'll see you at the next video. So if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. More content coming, particularly on these two builds that are on the way at the moment. And I'll see you at the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers then. Bye.